Well, I mean, I think there's three things that are demonstrative. Number one is we have better levees, and that's critical because once you go underwater, everybody looks bad. Secondly, we have better schools. I don't think there's any doubt about that. People can argue on how much better. And third, we have better political leadership. And that's drawing in a lot of outside investment. The Rockefeller Foundation, and Resilient Cities program. We've got a lot of FEMA money that's being handled well. So on the whole, some things are not as good as we'd want them. Other things are better than anybody expected. But I would say that we're a better place than anybody could ever hope for five years ago.
And Mary, when you look at the footage that we're starting to see now, but we're going to see a lot more as we get closer to the end of the week, I guess the great tragedy is, and both of y'all would agree with this, that this was a man-made disaster. I mean, what happened in Mississippi, that wasn't man-made, wiped out the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but New Orleans was a man-made disaster.
Yes, it is, but it's also a man-made miracle. New Orleans is the antidote for what ails Washington, D.C., and James is at glass half full on this. I think not just the political leadership has resulted in conjunction with citizen leadership, has resulted in the best urban school reform in the country. #1 brain gain, #1 tech city, #1 startup. We have a medical corridor. All of this was done in a very short period of time when the whole rest of the world, including Washington, D.C., did not have any confidence it could get done. So it can get done, and it is Mitch, but it's all of us together. He's been an astounding leader, and it shows what leadership can do, but it shows what citizens working together can do in short order.
Well, I just want to thank you very much for making the critical point. What happened on August 29, 2005 in New Orleans and St. Bernard, parts of Plaquemines, was an engineering failure. What happened at St. Louis, where I'm going this afternoon, in Mississippi and Gulfport and past Christiana, that was an act of God. That was just nothing that could be done. But you made the exact right point. I really congratulate you on that.
Well, and also it's great to see Mitch doing what Mitch is doing down in New Orleans after the poor leadership a decade ago.
Well, I mean, James and Mary point out one of the key elements, not just in New Orleans, but every other city. I mean, political leadership. You know, one last aspect I'd like to talk to the both of you about, or ask the both of you about, is the police department in New Orleans, which had traditionally had a very bumpy relationship with the population. Is the police department, I know there have been some improvements. What improvements do you sense?
Well, we have a new chief, and I think he's getting a lot of respect to the police department. We've been under a consent decree with the Justice Department for some time. But, you know, by and large, I think NOPD has improved. They got a tough job. You know, crime is one of the things that we're having to deal with here in a lot of other places. But I think the general sense is that the department is improving, which is some progress.
Also, can I say that we, again, leading the nation in identifying how to get ahead of crime. We're working with Palantir in particular to identify and isolate criminals in crime areas. It's critical, and we really have, despite what gets in the news all the time, we really have reduced our problem significantly. This is a very safe city to come, not to mention a very fun city to come.